Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't watched the video before this, we were out here on public land trying to scout it out. Set up one camera pretty quickly because we got stormed out pretty much. We had a really big problem with ticks, so make sure you spray down your clothes and then use this. This is called Picardin. It's a lotion, and you can just put it all over your hands, your neck, just not your eyes, and it should protect you pretty good against ticks, fleas, mosquitoes. And then we sprayed our clothes down with Promethium. So I'll put links to that down below. That way you guys can purchase them if you're planning to get out and scout during the hot months. So first thing first is we're gonna go check the camera, right?
The camera, we're just gonna go
If it's got a good amount of pictures and it's like in a good spot, we'll leave it there. We might adjust it a little bit, but if not, we're gonna pull it and go move it to where we saw the first doe, and then we're gonna take our buds and actually go scout the rest of this property. But yeah, we're pretty much out here. All of our clothes was sprayed down yesterday afternoon. Had plenty of time to dry. Promethium is good for up to 6 weeks or 6 washes. So it keeps ticks, fleas, and mosquitoes away. So it's a bug repellent. So, you know, especially out here.
We need it for the mosquitoes and everything.
We had some nasty ticks. So, especially because the grass is very tall. So let's just get out here. Let's get up in the woods. We'll record some clips of anything else we find. We're gonna go check our camera, and I'll definitely put any pictures if it did take any good pictures. All right, if not, it's probably just gonna be me and him standing there trying to fix it in the rain. So let's go get it done, guys. All right, guys, so we made it back to where our first camera was. We recovered the camera. We're actually gonna move it. The only thing on camera was that raccoon. I'm gonna delete every other footage on there, but I'm gonna leave the raccoon footage on there. That way I can show you guys. Probably next time I come out, I'll have to pull it because I forgot the bigger card that I need to put into the card reader so I can plug it into my phone. But we're gonna go ahead and that's all that was there. It was just a raccoon. But we're gonna go ahead and move out from here and go back to where we saw the doe and set this camera up over there. Let's go. What were we doing through here?
We're just kind of walking around trying to find some deer sign.
What'd you
set up a camera and came around. We came along this little guy.
Little tortoise there? For a little bit before we put him right back where we found him. All right, put him right back. All right, little buddy, we'll get out of your way. All right, bro, let's let him be. All right, guys, so we came to where we saw the doe. The doe was in this big open field over here. There's Chris over here. So we actually moved our camera and we placed it right there, right behind me, in this tree, because technically, you can pretty much, this is the view the camera has. You're right next to the trail camera. So that's the view. You're trying to catch anything moving into this opening. The field's over here where we saw the doe. Directly behind Chris, there's a tree that we know was an old buck rub. You can kind of tell because the tree has scarred up and you can see it. And there's actually a couple around it that has the same kind of buck scarring where they're rubbing up on them. So we're just gonna go ahead and leave it there. And then we're gonna go check our other spots. And then after that, we're gonna go home. It's getting kind of hot, pretty nasty and humid, so we're gonna go try to check this other spot and then take a little break, drink some water, chill for a little bit, and then keep on scouting around. Guys, we were walking, look at that hog. We're walking along and there's some hogs. And this
They just kind of started all running. It's like 4 or 5 little ones.
You know, before we walked by earlier, look at all those.
Yeah, where we said this is literally hog sign.
We're like, this is hardwood.
They're in there. And we seen one earlier, maybe like, what, 50 yards from here, 100 yards from here?
Yeah. One, but these were like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Perfect eater size, and honestly, guys, pig out here are just, there's no like season on them. So we, like, if we would have had something today, like a bow, we could have taken one. But it's nice to know that they're out here, so that way later on in the season when we start coming and trying to set up in trees and just practicing, we can actually sit and hunt with this. And that gives us good spots to be able to sit there and just hunt and see if we can't find, like, if we can't see any deer movement while we're sitting there waiting on food. Just sit it like this right now. There's one right here. Just like this, like that. And then we just lock it. But basically we set up here, and if you want to kind of explain why we set up, you turn around and kind of give them the camera view.
And then we're planning on setting up on this tree down here, right?
The big tree right down there.
Oh yeah, this big tree over here. This one right here. And then from here you just kind of, you'll be able to have a view of whatever's coming out of that way, or just anything walking down this path right here. So hopefully we get something on that camera, and then we'll see from there.
We got it done, huh?
Yeah.
We set up our 3 cameras, guys. For the most part, I don't think we have any ticks on us. I know Chris said he saw one on his shirt, but it wasn't nothing. Just one, right?
What?
The tick that you saw on your shirt.
Oh yeah, just one tick.
But we got this close, so when we get back to the car, we're gonna change out, put this in the trunk, get into our other clothes, and then we're gonna have to get to the gas station because we ran out of water. So note to self next time is bringing extra water. We set up our camera in some pretty good spots, moved the first camera over to where we had seen a doe a little bit over, saw 2 tortoises today, and then we were going to set up the second camera. We found the spot for it, we put it up, and on the way back from there to check this other spot we set up at, we saw a little hog come out of the clearing there, as you guys saw in the video, and didn't even know we were there. Then we ended up kind of finding the way out, because we're like, okay, if we're hunting the second camera setup, we got to figure out how to get in and out without going crazy through the woods. So on our way out, we were following pretty much a clearing like this, you know, a little open field. We're walking out to hit this third camera spot, and we heard some noise on the right, and Chris looks over and he's like, look, and I turned around and there was like three other hogs, right? Three smaller size hogs.
Pretty
So
eater size hogs.
kind of nice to see some action every single time we've been coming out here. Last week, like I said, we saw the doe,
And then this week we
and then it rained, so then we went home. The camera did have a little video clip of a raccoon, and then we just came back out this week, like I said, to check that camera and move it because we didn't like where we put it up at. And then we saw a total of 4 hogs and 2 tortoises. And that's pretty much it, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and start heading back to the car, and
getting hot out here.
we'll see you guys when we get to the car. guys, as you can tell, we're now wearing different shirts. We changed because it was extremely hot and our clothes were sweaty. So I made it back out to the gas station, got some drinks, some snacks, and yeah, now we're gonna drive back home for 45 minutes home, and it should be great. Good stuff we saw today. We're actually gonna let these cameras soak longer. This last one, like I said, we just returned them like a week later just because we got rained out and we didn't get to see everything we wanted to. So we're gonna actually let these sit for about a month before we go back in there, because it's only early June actually. So we might even let them sit a month and a half. Come check them out mid-July. Check how they're doing on batteries, how to clear out the SD cards, put everything over to the hard drive, and then put the SD cards back in and just start them back up and see what happens. But yeah, we're gonna let these cameras soak for what, about a month and a half. We're gonna check them mid-July to late July. It's still so early, there's not much the cameras are gonna tell us besides if there's any movement in there, any deer. But we're just gonna let them soak. I think we got 2 out of 3 spots for sure are really good spots. And even then, just letting them soak when we come back in. The reason I like putting the little 10 seconds of video is we can kind of see which way the animals kind of came through and where they're going to. And with that intel, then we can decide, okay, we maybe have the camera too far in one direction than we need it, and then we can start kind of tweaking and just dialing in more on the game. I don't think we're gonna come hunt anytime soon here, besides getting closer to deer season. Maybe, I know deer for us archery opens October 1st here, so we might come hunt like, you know, 2 weeks before that. So mid what, September, like so mid-September. Yeah, mid-September. Kind of get eyes in there, maybe try our saddle setup, make sure that we're comfortable. Set up in the actual trees we're gonna deer hunt in, just set up in there, and then after that, just leave it alone for 2 weeks and come back out. And again, we can move the cameras around in the future, but I think the second and the third spot we set up are probably gonna be awesome spots. The first spot is good. I don't think we just saw like a good tree that we could set something up in.
Yeah, the second and the third spot have trees where you can definitely just set it up and like get a nice setup on.
Very tall, wooded, straight up trees.
And then that first spot is just kind of, I think the first spot is more like to see where they're coming from and going to.
Very brushed in, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I know these videos aren't as fun. It's just kind of us scouting around and trying to get ideas, but I will start making little video clips with all of the game camera pictures. I think that would be something fun to show you guys. But like I said, we saw a couple tortoises, we saw 3 or 4 pigs together.
Yeah, and then one by himself.
Yeah.
And then what else?
That's about it, guys. But anyways, it's pretty hot out here. So anyways, until next time, y'all keep on enjoying the outdoors, and hopefully y'all keep coming back and watching our videos, guys. Like I said, we're just teaching ourselves how to hunt. We're learning as we go. Going up in the woods where we don't know everything. We're just learning, kind of following things we've seen on YouTube and just what we see. We can't even see tracks. The grass is so tall and the dirt is so dry that there's really no tracks unless you get closer to the water features there, the ponds and the little creeks. But other than that, it's dry.
Yeah, it's so dry out there.
There is a lot of blackberry, which is kind of cool. There's plenty of blackberry, so I know for a fact some animals are probably feeding off of some of those. And there is a lot of oak trees that have been dropping acorns in the past that we could tell from on the floor. So like I said, until next time, y'all keep on enjoying the outdoors.